Hey everybody, Melissa Brannon with Startup Prize, and I am very excited to be back for another Founder Spotlight. And today with me, I have Kalen Hall. Hey Kalen, how's it
Hey,
going?
how you doing? Good to see you again, Melissa.
I know, I'm super excited to see you again, and I can't wait to hear. I know y'all have been up to a lot since we've gotten to hang out, so I'm really excited to hear all about it. But first, I would love if you would tell everyone a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Informuta.
Yeah, so I'm a recent PhD graduate from Tulane. So we started the company in New Orleans. I finished my PhD back in March 2024 and met my co-founder Leo there. We worked in the same lab and invented the technology that is the foundation of Informuta
Mm.
in August 2022, and then pretty quickly started the company after that. And so what we focus on is we build diagnostics for drug-resistant infections. We use sequencing and machine learning technology and target pretty much the most difficult to treat infections you can see, the ones that you really don't want to end up with in the hospital, and tell clinicians all the information they need to know to treat that infection. So what drugs would work, what wouldn't work, and what's really novel about what we do is that we can actually tell clinicians if that infection would become drug resistant in the future. So giving them this
Oh,
warning
wow.
risk factor.
That's super interesting. I love that so much. I know, let's see, I'm wondering if you can like rewind. I don't know. Take us back in time to when you participated and with Startup Prize. Was it 23? Am I 2020?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I know I was trying to think back, but I'm like pretty sure it was 23. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
remember kind of where you were, like where your company was? Anything you can kind of like take us back, maybe what stage your company was at, or maybe some milestones that you had just hit or were kind of like right there on the horizon?
Yeah. So we were very early stage. So I think we participated in summer 2023, and I mean really we had only founded the company like 6 months prior and had won a couple of competitions and we're kind of pursuing those, which is why we applied the startup prize to get some early money in the door. Really, we were mostly just at the ideation stage and working towards building up some prototype. And we had some good proof of concept data from the experiments we did in our PhD labs, but incredibly early on in terms of the startup and the business aspect. So a lot has changed since that, because it's almost almost 2 years
Yeah.
since then.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm like, give us the landscape. What's been going on those 2 years past?
Yeah, so since then, so obviously both Leo and I graduated and moved on from Tulane. So we officially licensed our IP from Tulane, spun up
Congrats.
the company. We raised both a pre-seed and a seed round. So, and then also got our NSF grant. So the company's up to about 2 million in funding. We were accepted into Johnson Johnson's innovation incubator and moved out to San Diego. So we are a resident at J Labs out here now and have since hired and built up a team. So we now have 5 full-time employees and are starting 2 clinical studies this coming week. So been a whirlwind of the past two
I
years.
know. I know. That's incredible. I mean, like that really is incredible. First of all, like congratulations. These are all
Thank
huge
you.
milestones and like way to go on the funding front. It's a
Thank you.
challenge. And also I would say you guys have really racked up quite a bit of non-dilutive funding too, which is like, I mean, congratulations. That's
Thank you. Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, we really have. I mean, I think that the both from the grant side, so I think we've gotten 2 grant awards to support this work, and then also from the competitions, really that early on cash, I think we wouldn't have been able to do what we are doing now without that early cash from competitions like Certain Prize. And I think for total all the competitions we did in the first while we were students,
Mhm.
I think total is over around $170,000.
I mean, that's awesome. When someone's like paying for
Yeah.
that, right? I mean, that's really,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's sweet.
It adds up. Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. Well, I'm wondering, before we head into kind of like what's next on the horizon, maybe like your participation in Startup Prize, what was something maybe that you either maybe weren't expecting to find there, or was Startup Prize what you thought, or what did you get out of it, like participating?
Yeah, I think Startup Press is one of our favorite competitions we ever did because I think that the in-person day was so unique and it was really cool to have that really immersive experience with um so much kind of interaction with all the mentors. I think that was one of the most helpful things of kind of those roundtable discussions and talking to everyone. And we still are in contact with David and CN from the mentor
Oh,
group.
yay, I
Yeah.
love hearing that.
And I think that it was really great to have those early on connections with mentors, especially in the healthcare space, and just kind of be very vulnerable with what problems you're and challenges you're facing and get that very honest feedback with kind of no strings attached. And then also I think meeting all the other startups was really awesome. So we still are in contact with a couple startups that we met the first time. And one actually is out in San Diego. I don't know if you remember Bacto Medical.
I
And
sure do.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we like hang out with him in San Diego. I didn't realize he's
I
out
love
here, but
that.
yeah.
That's so funny. We get a lot of stories like that, which makes my heart really happy. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like, even though we're a competition, it's a really pretty collaborative experience. So I think like that's one of the things I love seeing is like people that keep in touch that met at the competition and are still cheering one another on or are like supporting each other in different ways, whether that's like, oh my gosh, you need to speak with this person, or it's just really cool to see that community built and like to sustain past the competition and for people to like still, be looking out for one another and kind of like high-fiving each other. I'm all in for that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think it's great because I think we're all kind of in the same boat at the same stage, and we've run into the same companies and other programs like iCore and other competitions. So it's really cool just to kind of keep in touch over the years to see how to support each other and watch everyone's progress.
Yeah, I love that. Well, speaking of, I mean, that is one thing that I really do love about this competition and program is the community that's built around it. So like tell your startup prize community, what's kind of the current challenges on the horizon? Is there anything like how can we help? Is what's going on right now? What do you need? Or what can we do to keep Informuta moving forward?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that we're focusing on right now, so we're kind of nearing our biggest milestones from this last fundraise, and we're gearing up for our next round. So we're looking to raise $5 million, which will be our first price round,
Mhm.
and mostly VC led, and that would get us all the way to FDA submission of our diagnostics. So that is kind of laser focused ahead on that. So
Mhm.
if anyone is interested in hearing more about our story or wanting to talk about that, or has anyone that could be a good fit for the round, we'd love to talk to them.
That is awesome. We will make sure your contact information's underneath so people can track you down. Well, let's see. We'll kind of keep it a little more relaxed now. So it's a lot on the table for you. So what's your go-to brain break? Like when you just need to like step away. What do you do?
Yeah, I think definitely. I feel like a couple other things. I mean, I think that definitely being out in San Diego, it's been really nice because there's so much beautiful nature out here. And so me and my wife have two big dogs, so we love to take them hiking and partake into the dog beach. We love going to the beach ourselves. I think getting out in nature is a really calming and kind of relaxing thing for me. Um, I think we love going to the vineyards or the breweries to relax a bit. I think being able to something that's like I've instilled over the past, I think last fall was really hard on me with fundraising. And I think something after that that I learned and really instilled is I actually switched my phone to a different like do not disturb mode after like 7 o'clock. So I don't get LinkedIn notifications. I don't get certain work emails. So it's like I like force myself to just turn off for a portion. So I have a few hours at night to myself. That's just like my time and it's not over. Like I'm not just constantly overburdened. Like I think everyone needs a break every once in
Yeah,
a while.
it's really smart. It's unfortunate that we're sometimes to a point where we have to like schedule it in, but like you're
Yeah,
right, and like it's good. I think giving yourself that brain space to kind of recover, you come in fresher. You can't just always be grinding and burning.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, I think it's just like I think if you don't schedule that time in and you're just always on, you think you can't last that way
Yeah,
forever.
definitely not sustainable.
Oh
Well,
no.
I mean, like, I was gonna say any last words of advice, but I mean, like, that's great advice, like, how do you kind of stay away from like totally burning out, you know?
Yeah, I think like that would definitely be my advice, and not being afraid to. I think when I've talked to kind of more mature founders and CEOs, they've instilled that same advice to me of there's a lot of pressure to be always on, but you need to make sure you take, like, don't be afraid to take that week vacation, and that everything will be okay when you get back. It's not gonna all burn down. And I think especially right now, there's so much uncertainty that's happening over the next 6 months with federal funding. There's a lot of investor hesitancy with the market. So I think that like everyone's in the same boat. We're all going through the same struggles, and that you need to make sure you're looking after yourself.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Kaylin, it's been so great catching up. I love hearing that like everything's like, I mean, it really seems like y'all are taking off, and I'm super excited to hear like another round's right on the horizon. And we will definitely be letting folks know. And we just wish you the best of luck.
Well, I appreciate it. And thanks so much for having me on. And I'm excited
Yeah,
to stay in touch and continue to keep making the progress.
awesome. And you know what we're going to have to do on our way out, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So on the count of three, Kaylin, best of luck to you, Leo Informuta, and we will see you next time. 1, 2, 3. Viva la
Viva la
startup
startup
crowd!
prize.
Thanks again.
All right. Thank you so much.